And that was The Beats Kid. The Beats.
The Beats.
It's Frankie two times.
And this is Joey Bree.
In fantasy, pick six. You understand? You're not going to pick once, you're not going to pick twice, you're going to pick six times. You understand what I'm trying to explain here? I'm still fighting the withdrawal from a little bit of the brown from this morning. You understand what I'm trying to explain here? So, good afternoon, good mornings to all of yous. To all of yous out there listening. Frankie two times and Joey Breeze. We're gonna bring you some. We're gonna bring you a little preview. We're gonna talk about some players. This is our last show
for the season.
For the season, we're gonna try to get in before next season starts, so we can start talking about people you want to pick up, sleepers and whatnot. And get into the whole fun of getting ready for a new draft. But this is the end. Funny enough, this is also, for many people, the last week of the regular season, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, for a lot of people, including in all 5 leagues that I'm in, it's very, very down to the wire at this point. Joey, any words about this fantasy season you've experienced so far?
I don't think we have enough time for the amount of words that I want to speak about this. Well, basically, the conundrum that is my fantasy seasons.
Yes.
If any given week, you see somebody put up anywhere between 25 and 41 points, I'm most likely playing them.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's just take this weekend for instance. I was playing against the Baltimore Ravens kicker for one.
Justin Tucker, yeah.
19 points.
In some leagues, he got 24 points.
Yeah, and then DeMarco Murray with his 3 touchdowns,
Ooh.
Just the way my season's been going. But, if you're not first, you're last, and this year I'm last.
If you're not first, you're last.
You're last.
You understand what I'm talking about?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I know do my hands. Everything seems to be fine. All right, so, you want to jump right into it, Breezy?
Sure. You want to talk about the Monday night game?
Yeah, we could talk about the Monday night
blowout.
Game. Seahawks Saints. What's funny is a friend of mine brought up a good point. Is every time there's a lot of money involved into a game, for like we're talking like Vegas and whatnot.
Jelly beans.
Yeah, for jelly beans. When there's a lot of jelly beans involved, for some reason Vegas usually takes it. A lot of the times, like for example, Saints Seahawks, a lot of people were riding on the Saints that game for thinking Seattle would get their first loss at home, and it wound up being that the Saints wound up getting trampled. So Vegas made pretty well. And he said the one sport that kind of doesn't happen in is where Vegas takes it most of the time is basketball. He says not many people are picking up on basketball as they are on football. There's some guys who don't wait to throw jelly beans in the air until football season. And when they do, it's just funny enough. I don't want to say it's rigged and be one of those conspiracy theory kind of guys, but it's just awfully funny that when there's a heavy favor to one side, it just so happens that Vegas usually takes it a lot of the times. That's all I'm saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there, you understand? Throwing the basket.
Jelly beans.
Jelly beans. All right, so Monday night's game, Seahawks, Russell, that little Russell, hooked it up, did his thing. Marshawn Lynch.
Was it his first over 300-yard game this year?
No, his first game. It was funny. His second 300 throw was his very first game. He threw 320 yards, which congratulations, Russell.
Yeah, he's going to be exciting new quarterback just to watch.
Can't wait.
I think he's great for the NFL. I was talking to somebody the other day. They were comparing him to, me and my uncle, I was speaking with him, and we were kind of comparing him to Derek Jeter in a way.
Really?
Yeah, because he's one of those guys that have a good work ethic, very well spoken, and is just a winner, and just wants to be there just to win. And I think he's going to win a couple rings in the NFL.
I hope so. I hope he does, man. I would like to. Now, keep in mind, I'm a big Drew Brees fan, a big Tom Brady, and big Peyton Manning fan. And I think it's going to be those 4 quarterbacks that are going to be in the conference finals. That's my prediction. I think it's going to be Patriots, Broncos, and then on the other side, I think it's going to be Seahawks, Saints. I'd like to see Seahawks Broncos in the Super Bowl with the Seahawks taking it. But what I think is going to really happen is it's going to wind up being Seahawks Patriots. That's what I think, and I think the Patriots might take it and cause a big upset because they've been beaten twice by the Giants the last time they got in the Super Bowl, twice. So
Twice.
I think they're not going to look to take it from Seahawks, but I want the Seahawks to do it. But yeah, Seahawks blew them out, man. The Saints only scored them once, which is unusual for Drew Brees to have less than a 200-yard throwing game.
Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy.
147 yards and a touchdown, which isn't really much. None of his guys really got it going, and of course, the only touchdown got to Jimmy Graham. So if you got JG, but not J&G over there, that makes a good sausage and peppers. If you got JG on your team, he caught you a nice little DD, little sixer on you. I think he got like 10 points that game.
Let's not forget about the so-called 12th man.
Oh yeah,
That whole Seattle crowd thing. They actually set a record with the highest decimal.
What for noise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're insane. I mean, I know Breezy was telling me about a joke, not a joke, something that Matthew Berry, Joey, and a couple other people are like, that's not the 12th man. It's really from a college team that called themselves the 12th man. And I find it funny because, taking it from college, but then people get like legitimately upset.
They actually paid the college to take that name. Quick history.
Really?
Yeah, quick history on what the 12th man means. I think it was in Texas. I think it was the Augies. They were so like down on injuries that game that like multiple players that ended up coming out of the game. And what happened was that they found somebody in the crowd that used to go to college there and used to play football. And what happened was they asked him if he could possibly suit up just in case like another player went down, and if he could just come in the game so they wouldn't have to forfeit. And he suited up and everything. He didn't end up playing, but that's where the whole 12th man originated from.
A guy they pulled off just
Yeah.
to suit up and then said, hey, listen, we might throw you in there just in case.
And that's what it was all from. Like, hey, we're here for you. If your players go down, we're here. We'll come in the game and we'll play for you. And that's where the 12th man originated from. And then Seattle stole it. You stole it
Yeah.
and paid for it.
Wow.
Paid for it.
They paid for it. They paid just to have the 12th man, the Seattle Seahawks. But I can't lie, man. If they're breaking decimals as far as noise, I'll call them the 13th man or the 6th man, like that crappy Wayans Brothers movie.
Hey, listen, you get me drunk at a stadium where a team hasn't won in like 58 years.
I'll be the 12th man.
I'll be the 12th man. I'll scream.
I'll be the 12th man. But which is funny. So the 12th man definitely was a factor in this game as well. But hey, I mean, only one turnover for the Saints. It wasn't like they got obliterated. They got obliterated points wise and offense wise and defense wise. They really contained Breeze, Pierre Thomas, Mark Ingram. They couldn't get anything going. Graham was really the only guy. He really had just 10 points, 42 yards, and a touchdown. And that's really it. But the same thing on the other side though. But there wasn't that many rushing yards. Marshawn Lynch really wasn't able to get it out of the gate against the Saints. But Wilson got to throw on them pretty well. Zach Miller, 86 yards and a touchdown, which was pretty nice. Russell Wilson had some nice rushing yards. I really like watching him play. A lot of people don't like him. I really like watching Russell Wilson play.
He does amazing things on that field. And what's funny is that nobody, I feel like ESPN doesn't believe in him yet. Like, if you look at the projections last week, he was only projected to get 13 points.
It's funny, too, because, like, they kind of look at the Seahawks team like, oh, you've been kind of, like, gliding by. It's like, no, they've been beating teams. They've beat the teams that are the only contenders in that conference, in my opinion, which is the 49ers and the Saints. Those are the only two teams, in my opinion, that are going to even come close to being in the championship, are those two, and they beat them pretty bad. And they stopped, like, the first game, San Francisco destroyed the Packers with Aaron Rodgers, Randall Cobb, Clay Matthews, their whole team healthy. And then they played the Seattle Seahawks, their whole team healthy, and they got crushed. They got stopped. All of that nonsense stopped, which started Colin Kaepernick's his decline, his slump for that part of the season. And now he's looking a lot better. Now he's got Michael Crabtree back, Mario Manningham, Vernon Davis, and Anquan Bolden. So I think they're going to be picking up big time. That's pretty much it that I want to discuss on the game. There wasn't any crazy plays besides Russell Wilson's ability to get rid of the ball, or what me and Joe witness every time me and Joe watch Russell Wilson play. We always see him throw the ball into such a small crawl space. Almost every time he does it. Almost every time. Every time that
He
man
surprises the wide receivers.
yeah, he really does. Like with the small target that he has to throw in, the little window that he has to throw into, he actually makes it. You see the receiver's face sometimes. Like, really? I
He's gotta
think
carry
you're
him.
going for it.
Next year, that's top 5. I mean, he's gonna finish this year top 5 quarterback fantasy points.
Which makes me happy that I'm keeping him. Cause that's Russell, that little Russell. Whatever.
Insane.
So what do we got here? So now we're gonna go on to next week. One game that I don't even think we should even talk about. I think it shouldn't even be allowed. The Texans and the Jaguars. I could care less who wins, and it doesn't even matter. But I'm gonna say the Texans are gonna come back and win. They're gonna win this game. That's what I think. Because the Jags beat them the first time, I think the Texans might look to come back. And the Jags, you know what's funny is the Jags are going to wind up winning, even though I think the Texans are going to take it. I think the Jags are going to wind up winning just because they've yet to win a home game. And I think this might be the game they finally win at home. But it's funny because the home stadium doesn't even like them. So it's funny. It's going to be a funny game to watch. Boring as heck to watch as well. But
If you got Ben Tate or Maurice Jones-Drew, you're definitely
you're playing them. You're playing both of them. You're playing Tate. You're playing Maurice Jones-Drew. Would you go Tate over Jones-Drew? Nah. Would you play Garrett Graham?
Garrett Graham over Tate.
No. Like he's for a tight end.
Oh,
Say
would
if
you-
you have like Martellus Bennett, Brandon Myers.
I don't know.
You play Garrett Graham over Martellus Bennett, who's playing the Giants?
I don't trust him. Garrett Graham. I mean, he's ranked pretty high this week.
It's funny because they did the same thing. They did the same thing with Graham when he played Jacksonville the first time, and he got nothing. And Jacksonville beat them. No. Did the Texans beat them last time?
Texans beat the Jaguars.
Yeah, I think that might have been. I think the Jags might have beaten them.
If it was 3 weeks ago, then yes.
I think it was either 3 or 2. But I have a feeling the Jaguars had beaten them. You know, usually pretty much we know who would won the last game or the one before that. But when it comes to these two teams, it's hard to even pay attention to them. And like the only players you really pay attention to on that team are Ben Tate at this point and Andre Johnson. DeAndre Hopkins is a non-factor.
You know what? Some people might have to start Garrett Graham. Now that I'm looking at the tight end situation. I mean, you go with Heath Miller, Brandon Myers, possibly, but I mean,
Do you go with Brandon Myers even though he's only had maybe
2 games.
2 decent games the whole year? That's
Yeah,
like
but how many has Garrett Graham had though?
that's what I'm saying. He hasn't had that many either. But when you're playing against the Jags, and another thing is it's the Texans. They have a worse record than the Jags.
Yeah, that's so bad.
That's really bad. You know what? I wouldn't mind the Texans tanking their entire season, and Breeze called it. He thinks the Texans are going to pick up Manziel.
That'd be interesting.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome because Andre Johnson would get some love. Him and Foster going back and forth. That would be incredible to watch.
DeAndre Hopkins is gonna.
He'll be a factor. They'll probably look to get somebody better than Garrett Graham next year. What I think they should really look for is some a front four on both sides, offense and defense. They got J.J. Watt, that's awesome, but get another guy in there that's going to help your defense a little more or help your secondary. That's the problem is both sides of the ball aren't doing that well, and that's on both sides too, man. The Jaguars are duty too, but I don't even want to talk about them anymore. They're just a team that I'd rather flush down the toilet with the rest of the people that play for the Jaguars.
Cecil Shorts.
Yeah, do you start him? Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
Depends.
This is the playoffs.
It depends. This is the last game. If you're in a team and you could care less because you're in the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 spot no matter what, and you locked it, play whoever you want this week. Have fun with it and experiment and see what would go if you had a certain way. But if you're like desperate and you're in the playoff situations and you're fighting hard and your best player is Cecil Shorts to get in as a flex, and that's what you're going to have to do.
No, if you're in the playoffs, Cecil Shorts is not your best wide receiver.
No. I mean your flex.
Oh, your flex.
Yeah, it's your best opportunity for a flex. Cecil Shorts can't be if he was ever your wide receiver 1 or 2 and you're in the playoffs, I want to throw Molotov cocktails at your house.
Or can I be in that league, please?
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe deeper leagues, but all right, let's get
on to Bills Bucks. I hope the Bills win.
Bills Bucks. Would you just skip one?
Is that? What did I skip? Are you going by the sheet?
Going by the sheet.
Colts Bengals.
With the sheet, man.
The sheet man. I am the sheet man. Colts Bengals, both 8-4. Who's gonna pull it out? What do you think, Breeze? What you think?
You know what?
What you think?
I think Indianapolis.
You think the Colts gonna do it?
I think they're tired of being horrible.
I think the Bengals gonna do it. I think that it's gonna be the Bengals that are gonna win, but I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Andy Dalton. Not a comeback game for him. Not something too crazy, but something I think he's gonna do nice. I want Luck to do well. I like Andrew Luck a lot.
I was gonna bring this up. Andrew Luck. What do you do with Andrew Luck? Do you start him if you have him and you're in the playoffs? And
which I am. I have Luck and Russell Wilson.
I mean, that's obvious.
So I'm starting Russell Wilson. So I mean that's what I would go with. But if you had Luck and Tony Romo, that's a good question. Tony Romo and Andrew Luck, because both of them can give you great points. I put them in kind of the same category as fantasy player, not as not football, not on the stats.
Romo's actually having a better.
He's having a better year but there have been games where Luck has outscored Romo, and that was probably after. I'm trying to think what game it was. The Redskins, when the Cowboys played the Redskins, is when Tony Romo wasn't having the great year that I was wanting him to have. Because I think is the game or two before that he played Denver and had an amazing game against Denver, which gets me to believe if the Cowboys are playing a stellar team, is Romo going to have a stellar day, but then choke in the fourth quarter? It's just frustrating because
as long as he gets the points, it's the same way. Right?
Yeah, no, of course. Unless you're a Cowboys fan, then at that point you're just like, all right, you're getting me fantasy points, but why aren't you pulling out the W's when we need it, man?
They're used to that.
Yeah,
Nicole.
What's good, girl?
So
we got.
Yeah, I mean, back to that Luck thing. I mean, I probably would start Tony Romo. I would even start Eli Manning over Andrew Luck this week.
No, I wouldn't.
The matchup is there every time Eli Manning plays San Diego and plays against Phillip Rivers. The same, the same guy that the Giants and the Chargers traded for. He always has a good game. Puts up 250 plus, 2+ touchdowns.
I hope, honestly.
I mean, just the way Andrew Luck's playing now. Like, how can you even trust him? Like, this is the playoff.
That's the thing is the biggest problem with Luck is his first half performance. His first half, his performance is he'll have two fantasy points, maybe 40
Manuel.
Would I play EJ Manuel against the Bucks over Andrew Luck? No. Just because I would be, honestly, I'm too driven or too stuck in my ways of the comfort zone.
What about Case Keenum?
No, not over. I know he's playing the Jags, but I did that last time. I benched Andrew Luck for Case Keenum in your FedEx League, and I lost because of that. You know that they're ranking Andrew Luck like 18th quarterback this week. Really? I honestly, it's just look what the Bengals did to. Well, I'm sorry. Look what the Bengals D. Look what the Bengals D does to teams. I think the Bengals are going to beat the Colts. They're undefeated at home. This is the one thing I think is going to come through for them. But at the same time, I'm sorry. He's actually 25th Really? So who's? Well, I'm pretty sure like Case Keenum's over him.
Yeah,
Tony
Clemens, Matt
Romo,
Castle, Ryan Tannehill.
McCown. Is McCown playing this week?
McCown, I don't know. I'm depending. I'm still waiting on.
Because they're
projecting
him at 0.
That's because of what's it
Cutler.
Yeah.
But they're saying that Cutler wants to suit up. But the thing is, do you really want Cutler to suit up now? The dude has thrown how many? Not that many. What, one interception, McCown?
Something like
Yeah,
that.
one interception. How many touchdowns this guy thrown? And he's won you games. Why are you gonna put in Jay Cutler at this point? That's like them. That's like Michael Vick starting in over Nick Foles. Why would you do that?
Well,
Nick
Michael
Foles-
Vick is.
Nick Foles has showed. I mean, clearly Jay Cutler is more sound and more in shape. Now I wouldn't say in shape, but his body is a little more ready for the punishment than Vic is. Vic gets hurt easily now, but still, the whole meaning of it is Cutler wasn't doing all that great, and neither was Vic. Well, Vic was until he took himself out, and Foles just outperformed him. And I think McCown is outperforming Cutler. They need to put McCown in there, and not Cutler, and let McCown. If he doesn't have such a great game, then it is what it is. But Chicago needs McCown. I'm going Bengals. Back to Bengals Colts. I'm going Bengals over Colts.
Okay, Bengals over Colts.
Either.
Now, real quick before we get over to the next game, Giovanni Bernard.
Yes, sir.
You're in the playoffs. You have Giovanni Bernard.
Yes, you do.
What do you do with him?
You start him. Depends on who you have. If you have like Donald Brown and Giovanni Bernard, that'll be kind of tough because they're both a little inconsistent. And by the way, it's mentioned that Trent Richardson is no longer the starter for the Colts. It is now Donald Brown. Thank God. I mean, seriously, Trent Richardson, you is such a Whoopi Goldberg. That's what he is. He's Whoopi Goldberg with horse extensions.
Giovanni Bernard has not had a double-digit fantasy game since week 10.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No.
That's not cool. Don't like it. No, sir. I don't like it. But yeah, sorry, Bernard, but that's gonna be like for example, I have Shane Vereen, Giovanni Bernard, and Donald Brown. But I have Reggie Bush too. So Reggie Bush is going to be my starter, and it's going to be Bush and Vereen this week because I'm a little nervous about Bernard. But if Bernard is your flex, you got to go with him, in my opinion. It depends on who you have. If you got a guy
might have a better wide receiver option at that point.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a guy like Keenan Allen, start him over Giovanni Bernard, in my opinion, just because it's getting close, and you don't want to take a risk, especially. I think Bernard's going to have a good game against the Colts, but Green Ellis isn't dead yet.
No, he's
not.
He's definitely not that.
He's not dead yet, so you gotta keep an eye out.
He's outscored him in the past,
which is not easy. It's not cool, but they're trying to.
I feel like when they need those yards and you need a downhill runner, they're not going to go to Gio. He's more of an elusive back that's going to make a big play out of nothing from running either the left or the right side. When you need those yards, though, I feel like they're more confident in Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
They are. They seem more confident because they got him starting. On to the. So what are you saying, Joey? Colts or Bengals?
I'm gonna go Colts.
Okay. Moving on to Buffalo at Tampa Bay. I want to see Buffalo take it. I think Buffalo is going to take it. Neither one of these guys, neither one of them got playoff contention knocking on the door. Neither one of them, and I know what it is with the Bills, especially if the Jets just got knocked out of their playoff contention from the Dolphins. The Bills have no shot. Do you want to start running backs against the Tampa Bay Bucks defense? I don't know. They have actually a great front four when it comes to rushing, so you might want to rely a little more on EJ Manuel this game. If you're in a 2-quarterback league and you really need a quarterback, I would look to pick up Manuel this week. If McCown doesn't play, I have him, but I also have Fitzpatrick, but he is playing Denver, which isn't fun, so I might have to look to grab EJ Manuel just in case. Well, hopefully nobody from your league, Joe, is listening to this because they'll probably do that right now on me. Bird. Or God knows who else.
I think you got to play C.J. Spiller here.
Yeah, you might want to. He
Coming
came
off a
back,
great
man.
week.
Yeah, last week he came back, man. I was happy that that C.J. Spiller came back to life. He's a great running back, but him and Freddie Jackson did a good thing. They got good chemistry. So
He had the best game of the season. He rushed for 15. He had 15 attempts with 149 yards.
Here's the start that I strongly suggest. Bobby Rainey, if you got him. I strongly suggest playing Bobby Rainey this game. It's one of those hunch feelings that I have that I think Bobby Rainey is going to do well against the Bills defense. I have a feeling.
Write it down.
I did. It's in my head. It ain't going nowhere. But yeah, I think Bobby Rainey's going to do well. I got him starting in another league that I have to win this game, so I have faith. I got Peterson, Lacey, and Rainey as my three, and then I got AJ Green and Vincent Jackson.
Lacey's. I'm a little worried about Lacey.
I'm not so much. I wouldn't say so much this game. They're playing the Falcons. This is going to be the best game he's going to have all year.
I don't think so.
Bold prediction. This is going to be Eddie Lacy's close to his, if not his best, but close to the best game. Why? He is playing against one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. But we'll get to that in 1 second. Joey, Bills or Bucks?
I'll go with the Bills.
Okay, you're starting. You starting Glennon?
I hope not.
Yeah. Well, if you're desperate, are you starting him?
I can't see a playoff team having. I mean, maybe if they had Aaron Rodgers and
Possibly.
he went down, well, that's a possible. But
Possibly.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I would.
Possible. You starting VJax?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, start Vincent Jackson.
Yeah. CJ, Bobby Rainey. That's it. Oh, and Freddie Jackson.
And Freddie Jackson.
Steady Freddie.
What about Stevie Smith, man? Steve
Johnson. Stevie Johnson.
Yeah. He had a
You
good,
can
he had a
because
good game last
well,
week.
Revis playing?
I'm not sure. I know he went down last week.
If he don't play, then put Stevie Johnson in there because he gonna do it. He gonna make it twerk. Yeah, I forgot, Joey. Who'd you go with, Bucks or Bills?
Bills.
Yeah. Next game, KC at the Redskins.
You gotta stop. Like the crinkling bag thing for you? Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's that. It's Phrenesia. We got KC and KC going against the Redskins. KC, I think, is going to.
Did you know, real quick, about those Redskins things? You know that they don't call them the Washington Redskins anymore?
What do they call them?
The Washington football team?
Are you serious?
Yeah, because
Is this because of an insensitive racist issue?
Yeah, of course.
Oh God.
You know.
Oh God, give it a rest.
America.
Yeah,
America.
that's right, America. I could say what I want, but I can't say what I want.
La Resistance.
Yeah, so ridiculous. We won't call them the Redskins. We're going to say the Washington football team because it's insensitive to say Redskins.
Because they're so worried about.
And then you'll have a Chihuahua representing Mexican people in a Taco Bell commercial.
That's okay.
That's not racist though, right?
No.
I don't think it's racist. I think it's pretty funny if you ask me. Who are you taking? The Redskins or the Chiefs?
I mean, obvious. Gonna take Kansas City.
Yeah, I RG3. I don't want to get into a rant, but you are done, in my opinion. You are done. I hope Shanahan gets tossed off next year. I really do. I think Shanahan's got his numbers taken. I think his numbers are up. And when that happens, and they pick a coach that wants a traditional pocket passer, kind of a football player, and not a 20-something-year-old going on 12-year-old as far as complaining and whining, as far as being in that I'm better than everyone else, so you have to just go by my lead. They're not gonna want that. The next coach that comes in is not gonna want to deal with that. So I'll be excited when they kick him to the curb and maybe stomp on him. His hair looks like you know what? I don't even want to continue it.
Yeah, I zoned out for a
Like
little
a
while.
Bati boy, like shaking his head, doing some kind of like ridiculous tribal dance.
I heard Brant, and I started daydreaming.
Yeah, no, because you knew what was coming. Then you'd come to, and then I'd still be like veins bulging out of my neck, talking about this
All right,
Yom Kippur. So we got yeah, we're both going KC. I think it's gonna be a JC kind of day. Do you start Alfred Morris?
you're gonna have to.
Do you start Pierre Garçon?
I would look somewhere else. I'm not confident in him this week.
The past 2 weeks, we all know Garcon's is a good receiver, even though he's a
I don't think he's top 10.
whatever
man.
he is. Definitely not at all.
That's what they were talking all year.
Oh
top
my
10,
God! And they
it's
said the
just-
same thing for Dwayne Bowe. They said the same thing for Joe Torrey Smith. They said the same thing.
top 15.
They said the same thing for who else was another guy that they were saying just get used to it. They're gonna be at the top.
You know who they didn't say? Keenan Allen,
No, it's
Alshon Jeffries.
no. They definitely didn't say Alshon Jeffrey was going to be up there. They definitely had no faith in Keenan Allen. They
Josh
didn't even
Gordon.
talk about Keenan Allen or Josh Gordon. So I think KC's going to take it. Obviously, you start the defense. It's not even a question. You start, in my opinion, you start Alex Smith and Jamal Charles. If you have Alex Smith and you got like Alex Smith, Andrew Luck, you go Alex Smith this
I
game.
got a question for you. Alex Smith or Russell Wilson?
I go Russell. The reason why
What if you weren't so big on Russell Wilson? Like, you
no,
know,
no, no.
you
The
and
only
I
reason
are?
why I say Russell, and he's playing San Fran.
Yeah.
So that's why, and I'm not saying because I'm big on him, it's because I just think that watching him these past couple of games and watching Alex Smith, Russell Wilson's in a groove right now.
So is Alex Smith.
He is, but I don't really see the explosiveness that I've seen from Wilson. I haven't seen that. I don't see the same those two on the same plane right now.
I took that gamble this week and it paid off, but Alex Smith still had 24 points this week.
And what did Wilson have, like 31, 32, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like Alex Smith to light up Washington's D, and I think that's what's going to happen. But I think
actually
he's
ranked
going
third
to.
this week. in
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
he's going to light up. I really think he's going to light up the Redskins defense. But I go with Russell. I go with, like I said, I'm more comfortable. Even though it sounds absurd to some people, like why would you start Russell over Alex Smith? You're out of your mind. What
Yeah,
happened the
Alex-
second game? What happened the second game? Russell Wilson played the first time they played the the San Fran. Not the best game that he's had, but at the same time, I think he's got enough experience with this team that he has their number and he knows what to do. And the defense certainly has their number down. So that's why I'm taking them.
He only had 10 points the first time he played them.
Russell? I
Yeah,
think
142 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
I think that's gonna change.
I think so too.
I think that's going to be a little better. But I think, obviously, besides my personal bias, in my opinion, you'd want to take Alex Smith and have him go in there against Washington. Most teams that have played the Skins, the Red Skins, they've crushed them.
The burnt skins.
Exactly, the burnt skin. Go into their reservations, pretty much go into Washington, take their reservation out.
Rape and pillage.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. We got, what's the next game? So we're both taking KC on this.
Minnesota, Baltimore.
Minnesota, Baltimore.
My man, Torrey Smith,
This is going to be a big game for him, in my opinion.
will light it up and secure his position at top 15
I don't think
wide
it's going to
receiver.
happen.
Secure it.
I'm just letting you know.
Oh, it's happening.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm looking it up right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look it up.
Mm-hmm. I think the Ravens, are going to take this. I think Peterson might have a pretty good game. I don't know.
Torrey Smith is only behind this week A.J. Green, Victor Cruz, Brandon Marshall, Josh Gordon,
Des Bryant.
nope, Alshon Jeffries, and Calvin Johnson.
Wow.
After Torrey Smith is Andre Johnson,
Okay.
D-Jax, Decker, Brown, Wright, Keenan Allen, James Jones,
Really?
Pierre
Kendall
Garçon.
Wright?
Yep, Pierre
Oh, my
Garçon,
God.
and then Des Bryant.
Some of these projections that these guys have make me laugh from the pit of my stomach sometimes. It really is, man. It really does. I don't think Kendall Wright's bad at all. He's Fitzpatrick's go-to guy, but
Kendall
come
Wright,
on. He is Fitzpatrick's go-to guy, but they're playing Denver this week. I don't think Keenan. I don't think it's smart. It's
Kendall Wright has had 69 yards in every game since week 5.
which is But do you think that he's going to have a game like that against the Broncos?
Probably. I think he's gonna go nuts against him. I'm starting him this week.
Really?
He's gonna go nuts. He's gonna. What are they projecting him at? 14. He'll probably have about 18 points.
Launch him out.
Right down. Right down.
Joe says.
BS.
Joe. Yeah. Joe says. What was
18 points. Just put. Yeah.
18 points? Wow.
I'm gonna.
18 points for K. Wright. Kendall. Right. Okay. You taking the Ravens over the Vikings, right?
Yeah, but I don't know.
You have a feeling.
I have a feeling that the Vikings are gonna pull it off.
That's a possibility. That's possibly. It could possibly happen.
It possibly can.
It's in the cards to do it. It's very good. Up next, I'm taking Ravens. You're taking Vikings?
Yeah. I'll take my.
Next, we got Cleveland at New England. What y'all think? You think Josh Gordon's gonna have another of Stellar's game?
I think he's gonna have a good game. I don't think he's gonna have a game like last week.
I think he gonna do the same.
I don't. I'll
I'm
bet on
I'm
that.
only joking around. I think Talib is gonna blanket him. I think the Patriots are gonna take this. I don't even think it's really a question at this point. I think the Patriots are taking this game.
So real quick, just real quick.
Yeah.
Torrey Smith.
Oh yeah. What'd you want to say about Torrey?
He's only 12 points away from top 15.
He's only 12 points away from top 15.
Yeah.
What happens if the number 15 guy does better than him?
Marquise Colston.
Oh, Marquise Colston. Like this is what I'm.
And you got Victor Cruz. Mike Wallace is up there.
Mike Wallace came back.
Yeah, 13. He's ranked 13 in points scored this year.
Wow, what a joker!
Wes Welker. Randall Cobb is still number 10 and has been
Isn't
out for
that
weeks.
funny? He's been out for 7 weeks now.
I'm glad I drafted him.
7 weeks he's been out, and he's still number 10. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you were saying.
I know what you are saying. So we have Baltimore. What else?
You're not starting Flacco. I mean, Torrey Smith.
I'd start Flacco.
Would you?
Flacco. I'd start him against Minnesota. Minnesota's D.
You got him.
Duty. No, I don't
In
have
any
him.
of your playoff teams,
No.
do you have?
No.
Are you going to be playing him in the playoffs?
Hopefully. Hopefully. I'd love to play
Good
Flacco in the
point, good
playoffs.
point.
Hopefully. I'd love to play Flacco in the playoffs.
Ray Rice this week. They're
looking to bring him up.
They're saying
to
that
life.
he's gonna have a good week.
He's born
I
to
don't.
be alive.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think it's gonna be the Ray Rice
I
show.
don't, or AP. I think neither one of them. I think Peterson.
I need AP to have a good game.
Yeah, so do I. I think AP will get 9 points.
Here's 9.
Yeah.
You're saying the number 1 running back is only gonna get 9 points this week?
Yep. That's what I'm thinking.
That's
what I'll be thinking. I think so. What do we? Oh yeah, from there we went Cleveland, New England. I went New England.
You want to hear something funny actually?
Yes, sir.
Just because I have it up.
Got.
You know, Adrian Pearson's the top, fantasy scorer for running backs.
for
Right?
for a long time. Yeah.
Can you guess who number 2 is?
Number 2. This year,
Yep, this year.
not Charles.
Nope.
Okay, not Jamal Charles.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at something completely different.
Are you? Because I was gonna say Jamal Charles, and if not Jamal Charles, then Marshawn.
I was wondering because I'm looking at it. I'm like,
Why is Charles not number 2?
why is Arian Foster number 2?
Yeah. What?
And then I was like, maybe. And then I saw Ray Rice, and I was like, oh, I'm looking at another season. My fault.
Yeah, this year would be Peterson, Charles, Lynch. That's around Moreno. Moreno's up there. Yeah, Lynch, Moreno, Charles, Peterson. Those guys. They doing their thing. So we got Joey. Obviously, you going Patriots over Browns?
Yeah, you starting Edelman this week?
No. I don't. Not
you
in
don't
this kind of
believe the hype?
situation. I don't believe the hype. I never did. I did. No. It's a lie. I did at the beginning, and then I hated him. So now I have like one of those like curses that I don't like him now, kind of thing. Regardless how well he did last week, which he did very well last week. So good for him. Drown. Oh, Gordon. Yeah, I mean, you start Josh Gordon no matter what.
Jordan Cameron, unfortunately, I have to start again.
Now, here's the thing. When Brandon Whedon plays, Josh Gordon gets an incredible amount of points.
That's what I thought too, but last week that was not the case.
What are you talking about? Josh Gordon got 42 points.
Oh, not Josh. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Jordan Cameron. 'Cause
No,
that's what I said about him, too.
yeah. No. Yeah, that's different because he's been hot and cold. But when I'm speaking on for Josh Gordon, when Brandon Whedon, Josh. Oh. So when Josh Gordon gets thrown from Brandon Whedon, they usually have a really good chemistry. If Campbell plays, because I know Brandon Whedon got a little banged up.
Hitting that Josh Whedon.
He got a little banged up, and because of that, Campbell might come in and play against the Patriots, which would be worse for Gordon. So if you have, like in my situation, Josh Gordon and Torrey Smith,
We know who you're gonna pick. You don't even have to say it.
I am going to stay with Gordon, but it's going to be kind of a one of those mental things. Like, oh, God, Torrey Smith might do better, though. And I'm playing against a friend who I'm already in the first seed of the playoffs.
I say Torrey Smith's gonna have a better week than Josh Gordon.
Okay, that's a pretty bold prediction.
Dollar?
I agree with you.
Jelly bean?
I wouldn't do a jelly bean on that because you're probably going to be right. Just because they're going to have
Two jelly
Talib.
beans.
They're going to have... they have... what's his name? Talib is going to be on Gordon.
I don't know if he's
the
coming
whole
back.
game.
Actually, I'm not sure if he's
clear.
clear.
I think he is. I think they're gonna blanket the hell out of him. Even if it's not Talib, it's gonna be somebody else that's not trying to have it. Ain't trying to have it. We got
Brady Gronk.
Brady Gronk as usual. Business as usual.
Shane Vereen is the only running back you want to start out of New England.
Well, since we got like 8 minutes, do you want to do like a fire round and then
8
mention
minutes?
players? Yeah.
We got more than that.
We got like 8 to 10 minutes. Probably we could stretch it out another.
Yeah, we
another
got
couple
here. The
minutes.
door was locked.
Yes, it was. The door was locked when we got here. We could do a quick fire round on who you think's gonna win, and then we can go through the players.
Sure.
So, New Orleans, Carolina.
New Orleans is bouncing back from last week.
I'm going Carolina.
There you go.
We got Oakland at the Jets.
I'm gonna take
Don't
Oakland
do it.
Raiders.
Okay, good. So am I.
6 points in 2 weeks, Jets. Maybe
Ugh.
you could get 6 points this week, possibly.
Yeah, if Geno Smith doesn't crap his
Oakland's-
diapers.
Oakland is an interesting defense play this week. If you are looking for a defense,
Rashad
I'm
Jennings.
personally playing the Bills. I'm just saying that because we passed the Bills, but I'm playing the Bills defense this week against Tampa Bay. All right, next game.
Detroit at Philadelphia.
It's gonna kill me to say this, but
Philadelphia.
Yep.
I'm going Detroit.
You going to Detroit?
I think Detroit's not. I think Detroit really, really wants that first place spot, and they really need to win. So, I think Stafford, Johnson, Bush, Bell. I think this is going to be their game. I think Nate Burleson's going to help out.
Foles throws 4 interceptions this week.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Write it down.
You're saying Foles throws 4 interceptions? That's insane, dude.
I'm over exaggerating, but
At least throws.
imagine that happens.
He at least throws. You'll say at least 2, right?
I want to say 4.
4. Ridiculous, right, guys? All right, so I'm saying Detroit. He's saying Philadelphia. Miami at Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh on this.
I'm going Miami.
You're going Miami. I'm going Pittsburgh. I think Ben Roethlisberger, even though I don't, I haven't been speaking nicely about the Steelers this year because they are a boring team to watch. It is what it is. I have faith that they're going to take it to the house on the Dolphins, but I do think that that Mike Wallace is going to have a good game. That's what I think. I think Mike Wallace is going to have a good game. I give him like a 10-pointer. Tennessee at Denver.
Denver.
Taking Denver. I take Denver
They're
too.
probably not going to lose the rest of the season.
Would you start Chris Johnson?
I have to.
All right. Here's a question for everybody else. Send me a text. Shoot us at Joey_peak. Beak six.
Pick six.
Beak six. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit Joey up. Give us an answer on this. This is a good question. Alfred Morris, Chris Johnson, no Sean Moreno. Who is the last?
Barry Sanders.
I don't know. Barry Sanders would start every game, even if he passed away. Yeah, no Sean Moreno, Alfred Morris, Chris Johnson, and Reggie Bush. You have those 4 running backs. What 3 do you start this week?
Moreno.
You got Moreno playing Tennessee. Go ahead.
I would go Moreno, and I'd probably go Bush.
You got Moreno and Bush. Now you have to choose between Chris Johnson and Alfred Morris. And Alfred Morris is playing KC, and Chris Johnson's playing Denver. So what 2 evils out of those evils, which ones do you pick? So you're going Moreno, and you're going
Chris Johnson is just so
Bush and Moreno
touchdown dependent.
That's true though. That's true. But will Chris Johnson outscore Alfred Morris this week? That is the question.
Yes.
So we're going Bush.
Yes.
We're going Bush and we're going Moreno. But is Chris Johnson gonna outscore Alfred Morris this week?
Yes. Washington's in disarray. They don't know what's going on. They're
playing KC, man. And I think this is gonna be embarrassing.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I can't stand.
You hear that, Matthew Berry? I hope your team loses.
I can't stand the Redskins. I do. I
never
can't
answer
stand
my
them.
tweets.
Yeah, he's a joik. You got
Joik Bell?
Joik Bell.
You start Joik Bell?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. If you got Joik Bell and you got Reggie Bush, you start both because they're both so heavily incorporated into that offensive system.
We're all over the place. Let's finish the games and then.
Yeah, then we'll go. Then we'll start throwing stuff at each other. Giants, San Diego.
San Diego.
I'm gonna say San Diego.
Unfortunately,
I know.
feel it.
Seattle at San Francisco.
Seattle's gonna keep rolling.
Roll it. St. Louis at Arizona.
Arizona.
I'm saying St. Louis is gonna come back.
There you go.
I'm thinking it. Thinking it.
I think Green Bay is being.
Green Bay is going to crush Atlanta.
What a boring.
That's a really boring night game.
Sunday night game.
Really boring night game. At least the Monday night game is going to be a little more entertaining, in my opinion. Dallas at Chicago. What do you think, Joe? Say it, because I know who I think's going to win. It's going to be the Cowboys.
It's going to be the Cowboys.
Cowboys are going to win against the Bears, I think.
And I just need Des Bryant to have a nice
If
game.
they play Jay Cutler, I think Cowboys are going to win a little more. If they play Josh McCown, I think it's going to be a closer game.
Really?
My opinion. That's my prediction. If they play Jay Cutler, they're going to lose. They're going to get their butts kicked. But if they play Josh
Do I dare
McCown,
to ask why?
I don't see. I see the McCown when he picked up from where Cutler left off. McCown was able to be very quickly acclimated into their very aggressive pass system. They're aggressive, like they have an aggressive offensive unit, and McCown fits in very well with that, and he's been doing very well. With the thing with Jay is I'm gonna go out of my way and pull both their stats up right now,
Yeah, you could.
and I want to make absolute sure.
You pull up Jay.
You want to pull up? I'll pull up McCown, pull up Cutler, because Cutler's number 4 or 5 up there.
Okay. What do you want to look at?
Oh, he's not even. Well, he's not even there.
McCown?
No, because they're guys that are going to start this week. So let me go pull him up. There he is, Josh McCown. All right, Joey. So Jay Cutler played the first 6 games.
Not good at all.
Go ahead, shoot the points off. Fantasy points.
Cincinnati 16, Minnesota, mind you, 17.
Wow.
Pittsburgh 11.
Wow.
Detroit 16.
Wow.
New Orleans 22.
Not bad.
Giants
good.
20.
Okay, and then he stopped.
Yeah, then he got hurt in Washington.
And he got hurt.
Reception.
So he got hurt in Washington. What was his points in Washington?
-1 because he threw an interception. With
-1.
28 yards.
Now, mind you, this was somewhat halfway through the game.
This was right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning, and then McCown comes in and gets 15 points for the rest of the game.
And then go ahead.
And then against Green Bay, 20 points. Against Detroit, not so well. He had a 6-pointer. That was actually a really bad game. A really bad game. I remember Detroit went off on them. Baltimore 12, St. Louis 18, Minnesota 22.
This is the same guy.
So it's I like watching McCown better than I do Cutler. I guess at that point it comes down to preference. That's what I say. I think obviously as far as fantasy points,
either one of those quarterbacks that play,
they're gonna do. It's gonna be as far as fantasy wise. If McCown plays, it's good because Dallas allows a lot of fantasy points to quarterbacks.
the second most fantasy points to a
The
quarterback.
second most. So
Quack.
yeah, which is not too good for them. But at the same time, I feel that if McCown plays, I think he'll do better than Cutler
If you have Alshon Jeffries and Brandon Marshall, are you playing them both?
on the same team.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because actually, I looked at somebody's team that were actually might be, who I think is going to probably win the league in the FedEx League.
Who?
He's got
He's got Brandon Marshall and Jeffrey.
Alshon Jeffries and Josh Gordon
Yeah.
and Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
How do you go against that?
How do you go against the green like that?
I don't know. All right, so let's go through.
Now we got through all the games. Players. Give me some players. Some players. So Joey thinks Chris Johnson's gonna do better than
Alpha Boys.
Yeah. Who else?
Yeah, what do you want to talk? Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers,
Let's go.
flexes.
Let's see. Here, let me get some questions out there. Do you? Same team, Bush and Bell. You starting both?
I don't know, man. I don't think I could start Bell. I
Well,
mean,
you start Bush. Yeah, you would start Bush, right? But
If you have
Still
him on the same
nervous.
team,
yeah, same team, Bush
Like,
and Bell.
no, I don't like doing that in fantasy. I don't like throwing all my eggs in one basket.
Two guys, and yeah.
I mean,
I
listen,
hears you.
There's exceptions to the rule, like Brady, Gronkowski, Peyton Manning, and anybody.
Shane Vereen or Giovanni Bernard,
Shane Vereen.
hands down.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Andre-
Here's a question: Josh Gordon or Torrey Smith?
Didn't we just put a bet on this?
Yeah, and you said Torrey Smith.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate. I want to make sure that after you've had some time to let it soak in, to see if you still feel confident.
Andre Brown or DeMarco Murray?
Okay. Brown's playing the Chargers. Murray's playing the Bears. Andre Brown.
I like it.
Andre Brown. Green. I think San Diego's got a not a strong rush D. Not as strong as rush D. Good.
Here you go. Pick two. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Steven Jackson.
Pick 2 and a pick 6. Go ahead.
Steven Jackson.
Yeah.
Ben Tate.
No.
And Alfred Morris.
Pick 2. Wow. Steven Jackson, Ben Tate, and Alfred Morris, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Ben Tate. Oh my God.
It's a good one.
Oh my God. Ben Tate, I would definitely put in there, just for the matchup, so that way you feel toasty on the inside. You're like, okay, it's Jacksonville. Okay, I'm okay now. And then you get Alfred Morris or Steven Jackson, two guys. Steven Jackson. I'll say it. I'll say Steven Jackson. I'm starting Steven Jackson over Danny Woodhead this week.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. It's going to be Moreno,
I don't know, man.
Lynch, and Steven Jackson starting for me this week.
All right.
Would you do Jackson over Woodhead?
No.
You would start Woodhead over Jackson?
Yeah.
You know what, Joey? I'm not listening.
Don't.
Last week, it was a toss-up between Woodhead and Jackson. I went Woodhead, and Jackson scored 20 points.
Only because I think that the Giants are going to get killed on
So
short
funny.
screen passes.
And I wound up winning that game anyway. Just to let you guys know that. I wound up winning that game.
Yeah, so
I thought I was going to lose
it for
because
you.
of the Seahawks, they ridiculous and awesome at the same time. Let's see. Do you go Des Bryant or Brandon Marshall?
I mean, just the matchup alone, you have to go Brandon Marshall. I think.
I mean, if you had to start one of them and say you couldn't, like say you had a definite
Yeah,
guarantee, because obviously you would start both of them at the same time. But I'm saying
Yeah.
if you had to, who would you think would outscore Des Bryant or Brandon Marshall this week?
Oh, just outscore.
Yeah, outscore. I mean, if you had both of them, you'd be crazy not to start them both. But if you had to go with your gut feeling on one or the other, who would you go with? They're both playing each other.
No, I know. Probably.
You know, is Romo going to connect because Chicago's not so great secondary this year?
Well, yeah. You know what? Yeah, I see Des Bryant. I think
Des
Chicago's
Bryant.
going to go up,
And Alshon Jeffrey's got a possible chance of
and I think
of catching it off of.
I still think teams are going to focus more on Brandon Marshall than Alshon Jeffries, and that's what's going. They're going to leave Alshon Jeffries open enough to have a decent day. He might. I believe that he might. He's probably going to outscore Brandon Marshall again this week.
Let me see if I can muster up. Okay, Bobby Rainey or Chris Ivory. That's a good flex question for you guys.
Rainey.
Michael Floyd or Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
What else we got here?
I got one for you.
Ryan Fitzpatrick or Josh McCown. If
Okay.
McCown plays,
Fitzy.
you go with the fifth
Go with the field.
against Denver.
Yes, sir.
You crazy?
Pierre,
What do you got for me?
Pierre Garcon or Kendall Wright?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I might just do Pierre Garcon. I know I would do it. I would. Here's a question for you. You have to pick two. Pierre Garcon, Michael Crabtree, and Anquan Bolden, Golden Tate. You gotta pick two. Pick two for the pick six.
Pierre Garcon.
For some thinking music.
Pierre
Garcon.
We go Pierre Garcon and why were we doing this all year?
What?
We should have been doing this all year.
Having ridiculous music in the background.
Yeah. Now I lost my train of thought.
Pierre Garcon, Anquan Bolden, Michael Crabtree, Golden Tate. You got to start two.
Gonna go.
You have to only pick. Ready for it?
Yeah.
You have to pick just.
I'm gonna go Pierre Garcon and Crabtree.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Not Bolden, huh?
No.
You think Crabtree's going to go crazy?
I think he'll have a decent game. I don't think he's gonna go crazy. I think they're playing Seattle too.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think Sherman's going to be all over Crabtree.
I'm worried about Allen out there than Sherman nowadays.
Really?
Yeah, man, he's been putting up some crazy numbers. I mean, Sherman's. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from
No,
Sherman.
of course. Sherman's a top guy, but I hear you.
I think they're only gonna get better. It's so their secondary is so crazy. They're two of hearts.
Yeah, they're two of hearts. They are two of hearts.
All right, let me see. I don't know what else, man.
Zach Stacy or Andre Ellington?
Well, Ellington might be out this week.
Ooh. All right, so
Yeah,
Zach
as of right
Stacy or Andre Brown?
Andre Brown.
Yeah.
Not a question.
Okay. Zach Stacy. I got another funny one for you. Zach Stacy or Eddie Lacy?
Stacy or Lacey, huh?
Stacy Lacy.
You gotta play Lacey against Atlanta. Like you said before, they're one of the worst.
they're one of the worst rush defenses. So
I don't-
Lacey
I'm
instead of
telling you-
Stacy?
But Lacey still worries me because without Aaron Rodgers back there, I don't think he's
Not
as
very
effective
confident.
as he was before, and I think that he just gets beat up back there without Aaron Rodgers, and it's just crazy. It's just not. I don't know, man. I'm just worried. I mean, this week is okay against Atlanta, but going forward, like, who's he have? You have Dallas next week, which they have a decent run defense, and then you have Pittsburgh after that in the fantasy Super Bowl. So it's
Oh man,
I'm not confident about Lacey after this week, man. I mean, especially
which is
if you're not-
scary for a lot of players out there, man. You guys got to start looking for backups. Start looking up for other options.
I mean, it's gonna be a tough playoff run for Lacey. So I mean, just check your lineups and make sure if you have a possible backup plan. I mean, I don't even know who you could grab at this point, but I wouldn't feel confident starting Lacey in week 15 or 16.
Yeah, that's not gonna be easy pickings.
Top 10 running back next year, but
I think so. I think he'll be up there. Maybe not. You know what? You know what? Seeing the way guys ran the ball this year, you know that's not a bold prediction because a lot of guys that were supposed to do it didn't.
what do you think about it? Ray Rice is going to be out of that.
Doug Martin's not going to be in it. C.J. Spiller's not going to be in it. Fred Jackson's not going to be it.
Arian Foster is not going to be there also.
No.
Chris Johnson's not going to. Well, he wasn't in the top 10 anyway, but he was almost right there. Who else? There's nobody. Trent
Sean
Richardson
McCoy will
won't
be up there.
Trent
Richardson
will not be there.
He'll be in the garbage can with the rest of the Tyler Perry movies.
I think Gio Bernard pulls up into the 10 spot, around the 10 spot.
MJD, I don't know if he'll make it there. I don't know. What do you think about Chris Johnson? I don't think Chris Johnson will be there either. Moreno will definitely be there. McCoy will be there. Bush will be there. Ivory, no. McFadden, no. Pierre, nobody from New Orleans. Carolina. Ridley was...
What else you got over there?
Yeah. Let's see what else I got. What other ridiculous songs I have for you guys. Let's see. What else? Here's
We do have to wrap it up soon, though.
Yeah, I got to get going to class. Just remember, guys, even if you make the wrong picks, even if you don't have the right person in there, you're only human.
We really should have done this all year.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
You're only human, guys. Just wait for that.
Same thing with your fantasy players. If they have a bad week, don't blast them on Twitter. Don't.
Yeah,
don't destroy
seriously.
them. That's not nice. They're only human.
You know, as we're wrapping up this season and the show, guys, you know, a player doesn't do well for you. Seriously, he's only human.
Seriously. Only human.
He's only human. You know, don't blast him on Twitter. Like, have a life, have something else going on besides fantasy. You know, like, and if fantasy is your life, then no, that's cool. It is what it is. But don't, you know what I mean? These guys get paid. They get paychecks. Do you think they care that you're freaking out and losing because of a fan? They don't. They don't care. You know what I mean? Do you? They'll do them. Enjoy your fantasy season. Keep watching football, dude. It's the most fun sport to watch, in my opinion. So, and it comes a short time of year. So enjoy it while you can. Don't spoil it for yourself.
I feel like I'm at the prom.
The only thing is they don't have like still pictures of us. Like,
Ridiculous.
what else I got? Any other really ridiculous songs? Okay, well here's something for the radio. This is off of the Grand Theft Auto 5 soundtrack. That, which, by the way, playing certain games, I don't know why, it just makes me certain songs just like stuck in my head for a long time. But we'll leave.
We'll leave on this note. That's horrible.
So I know you guys are not going to be hearing me and Breezy up until the next season. We would like to thank everyone who was listening to our show, everybody who paid attention everybody who gave us
Supported
questions.
us.
I would
A lot of support this week.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of people this weekend, and they all said, keep doing what you're doing, no matter what. I mean, it could be nothing, it could be something, but at least you're doing something that you want to do. I appreciate that. To all, everybody at Nick Perluca's birthday.
Oh yeah, man. A special happy birthday to our friend Nick Pierdeluca. Just a shout out to all of our friends in the league. I'll run through the names for you guys. We got DC, Joey DeWaters, Ruckman, my brother-in-law Phil, he's the man. Who else is in our league? Birdie Boy. Who else is in our leagues? Nick Pierdeluca, Slew, Joey Famage. Who else we got? Who else are we missing? Opie, Fails is the man. All these guys are the man. Oh, Tommy.
Nick Gizzo.
He's the original. Tommy's the original 2 times. Nick Gizzo, who is my nemesis when it comes to gambling.
Jelly beans.
Jelly beans. Gambling for jelly beans.
But, why don't you lower that?
Yeah, it's pretty loud, right?
Yeah.
If you guys could only see the video of this song,
Oh my
it's so
God.
weird. And it's Queen, so what would you expect? But
What is Radio Guru?
it's like radio crap. Radio Gaga, Radio
That's
Goo
perfect for
Goo.
a show.
Yeah, that's all you hear is radio crap. That was at the time they were like, doesn't he look like Bronson? So weird.
But well, listen, we're gonna be doing a lot of things this off season. I'm gonna create an official page for us. Just word of mouth, basically. I'll promote it next year when we're on the show. It will be a podcast, so got a couple short-term goals, long-term goals. If I come across some money, then I'll have my own studio.
That would be awesome, and we wouldn't have to worry about when we can and can't go on.
Oh my God!
Just for you guys out there, Education Connection is not the way to go.
We gotta go.
Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why I pulled this song up. It's stuck in my head. That's
Don't
why.
want to lie to you. It's not his favorites.
It is. Connection.
All right.
All right, we gotta get out of here before I get beaten to death. Thank you guys. Love you all. Catch us next time. We'll definitely, like Joey said, he's gonna make the page. We're gonna keep you guys updated and let you know when we're gonna come back on air because
Yes.
we will be back. Again, thank you guys. We'll
Still gonna
see
give information. Still some fancy.
over Facebook over Joey_pick6, the number 6.
Twitter.
Frank Jaeger, Jaeger. That's on Facebook. Joey Breeze. I don't know if you want to drop your
Keep
Facebook.
sending questions. Keep sending questions.
Yeah, send us
We'll
questions, comments. Let us know if there's anything different you want from the show, anything different you want from us. I'm not giving you money or happy endings. So,
Jelly beans.
or jelly beans. Jelly beans. Also, give a shout out to Joey's girl who's been listening to our been faithful listening to our show. Nicole, thank you. Appreciate it.
because she has to.
Well, in that
Better
case,
listen to me, or it's
well, in that case, good job, girl. You know how to hold a man. Had to throw that in there, but again, thank you guys. We'll catch you. We'll catch you next season.
WICR.
later.
When I come home, baby, and I've been working all night long.